Chapter 21 Beat the Grass to Startle the Snake. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Chanming can't help but feel anxious while staring at Jiang Yu. He doesn't have any idea about the person who orchestrated the accident, but he had his own theory. He also feels very thankful of that person. Honestly, he doesn't really care about Jiang Yu that much. What he cares about is Wang Rou's last will as well as the property's deeds. As long as he could get the originals, he can always make someone change it. Then he could get rid of Jiang Yu or perhaps send her in a faraway place abroad. Still, something is bugging Jiang Chanming since Jiang Yu came back. It seems that he couldn't understand her anymore. He fears that she or even the Wangs knew of his past misbehaviors. Jiang Yu, listen to your father. He means well. If you are not comfortable staying at our home, let Jiang Mian stay at your house for a while to take care of you. Lu Shi urged Jiang Yu. Jiang Yu looked at the group of people in front of her. Then she looked at her grandfather. I'm sorry. But grandfather already told me to move back to the Wang's estate. Minghua will also start training me for the family business after the exam, so it is more convenient for me to stay there. What Jiang Yu said is the truth. In the first place, Grandpa Wang asked her to come back to help with the family business. So why can't he use this as a reason to stay at the Wangs? Even though no one mentions this after she woke up, she knows that her grandfather will want her to stay with them. Jiang Yu, you can't depend on your grandfather forever. You are still a Jiang after all. Lu Shi wanted to insinuate this fact to the old man Wang. After all, it is not proper for a maternal grandfather to attach himself to his granddaughter this much. Grandpa Wang couldn't help but frown his brows. It is true that he shouldn't meddle with Jiang Yu's life. Still, he couldn't stop herself. He looked at Jiang Yu and was about to say something when he was stopped by his granddaughter's cold gaze. He knows Jiang Yu is pissed this time. Jiang Yu badly wanted to drop all the pretense. However, she can't stop herself from thinking that these people have something to do with the car accident. Now, if one of these people orchestrated her accident, then there is a possibility that her mother's death was also the intent of someone. The thought of her mother's accident being a possible murder is making her eyes even colder than it currently was. If that is true, then who could it be? She couldn't help but shiver. Everyone in the room is just watching Jiang Yu's reaction. For some reason, Jiang Chanming is feeling uncomfortable the longer he took his time to look at his daughter's face. I would like to stay at grandfather's house. But you can always visit me. Anytime. Jiang Yu looked at her father. Her gaze flickered, but it was quickly masked by her calm and collected look. She needs to know the truth. And she needs her enemies closer. She can't let them compromise anything before her investigation is complete. I'm really tired. I want to rest. She gave them an exhausted look. It's not that she is lying. She is truly tired. That. And she wanted Jiang Chanming and his company to leave. Jiang Chanming felt that he couldn't do anything to convince her, so he just nodded and made his way into the door. Lu Shi, however, felt that Jiang Yu needed another urging. She can't just let this pass. I would like to stay here and take care of you. She blurted, as your mother, it is my responsibility. Lu Shi declared. No thank you. I would like to sleep then go home when I wake up. Jiang Yu blatantly denied her. She already warned this Lu Shi not to pull this kind of act around her. It seems that this woman doesn't learn. Still, she doesn't want to beat the grass to startle the snake, one. But she really can't wait to punch this woman's face. And she will. Soon. Mother, it's okay. We can just visit elder sister when she is fine. Jiang Mian convinced her mother. It seems that Jiang Yu is slowly warming up to them. And that was their goal. As expected, she can easily fool Jiang Yu. She only acts tough on the outside. But she is as dumb as Lu Shi said. Sensing her daughter's good mood, Lu Shi agreed. Of course, she tried to showcase another motherly act before leaving with her husband, her daughter, and Yu Chen. Yu Chen didn't expect to leave so soon, but he couldn't find any reason to stay. But he still felt fine. After all, he already decided to start wooing her after today. When the group of annoying people left, Jiang Yu looked immediately at his uncle. Her tired eyes disappeared and were replaced by a hawk-like gaze. I wanted to know everything about this accident, she said. She is determined to know more about this attempt in her life. This is not an accident. His uncle confirmed what she heard when she was still in a coma. I know. And I want to know more. Also. She looked at her cousin who was sitting languidly in the room's couch. I want the files of all the people that I asked you to find. She needed to have her own team as fast as possible. Wang Minghua just nodded before asking Wang Bolin to get his laptop. He then gives it to Jiang Yu. Jiang Yu opened the laptop and started typing. She opened an encrypted folder from the desktop and read through all its contents. She gives herself a smile before reading her first target's name out loud. Name: Bailey, Global Cyberolympics Champion. Location: unknown. Chapter 22. Bailey. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 22. Bailey is sweating profusely as his finger flew faster and faster on the keyboard. His heart is pounding so hard. He looked at the room's thermostat again. He frowned when he saw that the temperature is still normal. He felt that the room just got colder to another degree. He felt himself panic as a muscle twitches involuntarily at the corner of his left eye. It's been 4 hours. 4 whole hours of trying to break into a wall of problems that someone sent him. Normally 4 whole hours with his computer is nothing compared to the number of hours he spent hacking or coding. But this is a different thing. Someone just sent him a malware. Not just any malware. But something that his firewall didn't even detect. A malware that threatens to wipe away all his hard work. He couldn't help but curse. Who would suddenly send him a very complicated malware that he cannot break? He felt that this person is completely unreasonable. Bailey is sure that he didn't offend anyone this formidable. He was just doing his job to survive. He didn't do anything wrong at all. At least he thought he didn't. Okay, he did, but not really enough to warrant the attention of someone like the person who sent him this malware out of nowhere. He leans back in frustration. Beads of sweat trickle down his forehead. He closes his eyes as the fragments of codes clogged in his mind. Phew. He let out a long sigh as he looked at the complicated codes in front of him. Is he giving up? No. Yes. Maybe. He is definitely confused and frustrated. Who would send him a virus that is not even in the black market yet? Bailey closed his eyes as he takes a long deep breath. He then gets up and proceeded to get a bottle of beer from the mini fridge inside his cramped apartment. It wasn't too long when he started this lifestyle. Bailey was a very smart student at one of the top university in Hua City. He even won the hacking competition representing his university. However, a lot of dangerous people got a hold of his talents and used his sick mother to threaten him. Bailey conceded with the threats and started doing illegal stuff for the underground crime groups. They promised him that they will not touch his mother, but when he got into an altercation with the law, they left him alone to fend for himself. He ran for months with his mother. But because of this, his mother's body got weaker and weaker until she passed away 2 months ago. Now here he is, hiding in a rundown basement with his computers trying to live a normal life. He was about to lie down to his couch when he heard a sudden ding. Someone just sent a message to his computer using the malware. Now, how wicked is that? He walked into his computer and let out another curse when he read the message on the screen. So. Did you like it? Seriously, is the person responsible for the malware just playing a game? He wondered if this guy is a psycho. I will teach you how to bypass it. Meet me in 2 weeks at Xian City's Green Cafe. Meet him. What is this person up to? He was about to type a reply when he received another message. Fail to show and I will send you another wave of malware. Don't worry. I'm not the bad guy. See ya, then his whole screen went black. What the? Bailey is so angry he badly wants to cry. The person just threatens him then told him he is not the bad guy. Isn't that too unbelievable? All bad guys say they are not the bad guys. He swallowed down his anger and kneed his temple. He clenched his jaw in frustration. He didn't have a choice. Maybe he is also tired of running. If this person is associated with the police then he really can't do anything about it. This person just threatened to directly cut off his livelihood. If he will not meet him, then how will he continue to survive? His head ached in frustration. Now he had to try and travel to Xian City without alerting all of his enemies. How troublesome. Jiang Yu was smiling from ear to ear. She just finished chatting with her first employee. She might have used some devious acts but still, she got what she wanted. Ha! She didn't recruit him yet. Still, she knows he won't say no to her charms. He. She let out a laugh. She was so focused on her computer that she didn't notice Wang Minghua enter her room. Jiang Yu just woke up after her first night at the Wang's residence and she immediately got to work to make all her plans come into fruition. Ahem. Wang Minghua announces his presence. His cousin is so engrossed to what she is doing that she didn't even notice him. Oh hey. Morning. Jiang Yu lifted her head then gave Wang Minghua a smile before giving her full attention back to her computer. Yeah, so grandfather asked me to call you so we can have breakfast together. He said. Sure. I'll be there in a while. She said without even looking at him. Right. What are you doing anyway? You seem so busy early in the morning. He inquired. Well. I'm doing the first part of my plan. She answered absent-mindedly. And what is that plan? He asked as he made his way into her. To create another company and conquer the world. She announced as she glanced at her cousin. Her voice full of confidence and assurance. Wang Minghua was stunned silly. Did his cousin hurt her head during the accident? But the doctors said she was fine. Did something go wrong? Was she possessed by some evil spirit who is trying to conquer this world? Seeing his dumb reaction, Jiang Yu couldn't stop her laughter. Fooled you. Ha ha ha. I was just trying to recruit someone to help with something that I am planning to build to help our company. She explained while suppressing her laughs. And what business are you planning to do? Wang Minghua asked curiously. If her younger cousin will create something that will help the Wang family then he will surely support her. For starters, I am planning to create a cafe with lots of sweets and coffee. Again her answer made him dumbfounded. A cafe. So you asked me to research about hackers and coding experts so you can make a cafe. Chapter 23 Cafe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Yu skipped happily out of her room, leaving the dumbstruck Wang Minghua behind. She is enjoying herself too much. Jiang Yu is also very excited for the days to come. The accident made her realize a lot of things. Things that require her full attention. She had squeezed every part of her brains to come up with something concrete. And she succeeded. Last night she had come up with an elaborate plan that will make her stronger as well as the Wang family. She will focus her whole attention on developing herself and the Wang family to create an empire. This empire will be hers and will serve as a way for her to protect not just herself but the people that she loves the most. When her grandfather and uncle saw her arrived while bouncing happily, they were intrigued. Jiang Yu just got out from the hospital. And that is not something that will give you happiness. They tried to ask about it but Jiang Yu refused to answer. She told them that they will talk about it after breakfast in her grandfather's study. Everyone can feel Jiang Yu's excitement. Even Wang Minghua, who was following Jiang Yu with a slumped shoulder, can't help but get affected by the current mood. After everyone finishes eating their fill, Jiang Yu asked them to go to her grandfather's study. She wanted them to know about her future endeavors. So, what is this about? Her uncle directly asked her. He is also very interested in the sudden excitement of her niece. She wanted to build a cafe. Wang Minghua answered without waiting for Jiang Yu to speak. He still couldn't believe how he spent a lot of time researching about some experts when his cousin only wanted to build a cafe. Grandfather Wang and Wang Ho couldn't help but stare at Jiang Yu. So the source of her excitement is a cafe. Wang Ho shook his head. He couldn't help but find his niece so cute. He didn't even know that his niece loved food so much that the mere thought of making a cafe can make her so excited. Whatever you want to do, I will wholeheartedly support you, Wang Guoren said, his eyes full of sincerity. So what if his granddaughter likes to manage cafes instead of their company? He won't care. As long as she is happy, then Grandpa Wang will support her. Jiang Yu burst into laughter. She couldn't believe the trio's reaction. Still, she couldn't help but thank the gods for having a supportive family like them. Grandpa, Minghua is right, I am planning to create a cafe and a company that will focus on mobile gaming, she declared. The Wang Group is a group of company that is into technology development. They have a company called iComs Tech International that focused on making both computer software and hardware parts. The company started 25 years ago and became one of the top companies in the country after 5 years of its founding. Now iComs Tech is the leading software and hardware company in the country and is one of the top companies in the world. However, their company never ventured into mobile technology. She knows that her plan is very ambitious, but hey, it's all or nothing. Since she had decided to create an empire, then she will go all out. Giving up without even trying is not a part of her vocabulary. Mobile gaming, Wang Ho confirmed as he furrowed his brows. You heard it right. Here, take a look at this, she said. Then she gives them her laptop that contains her presentation for this plan. She knows that this is risky and she planned to create a more detailed presentation later on. This shows how mobile gaming is influencing the gaming industry. With the current advancement of technology today, I want to create a game that will emulate full gaming experience in a pocket form. And I mean full gaming experience. Be it in graphics, sounds, everything. I want to create a totally free game, Jiang Yu explained to the 3 generations of Wangs in front of her. Free gaming? Wang Guoren asked. Yes, Grandpa. I want to make it a free game, but I will also give them an option to spend coins or diamonds. Please check my presentation. I haven't included the graphics yet, but my plan is to create an adventure/otome game that will both cater male and female. This game will not only focus on females but also males. She made a pause as she glances at the trio who is so engrossed in the presentation in front of them. So, this game will let the players create an entire life inside his or her phone. This is an interactive game, so the players have the power to choose about what to do with their character. Since this is an interactive world, I will create one universe for all of the players. Meaning, they can interact and talk to each other, live in the game. Does that make any sense so far? She asked. Yes. Please continue. Grandpa Wang gestured for her to continue. This proposal had piqued his interest. True, this is not the first time that he received a proposal like this, but this is the first time that he heard about an interactive adventure game. As you can see, my target market is not just teenagers. I believe that people would eventually want an escape from their daily boring lives. And what better way to escape than creating their own world in an unknown universe and do what they wanted to do. Basically, this game will sort of like a novel and a game into one. It's like writing your own story, but your decisions will be influenced by your environment or by other people playing the game with you. So, what do you think? Jiang Yu asked them as her eyes sparkled with excitement. The greatest frustration in her previous life is not being able to enjoy it with the people that she loves. And not being able to follow her passion. She doesn't want that to happen to other people. Her goal is to create a game that will let you pursue your true passion. Even though it's just in your phone. Ahem. I have one question. Wang Minghua said. Sure. So. What about the cafe? Chapter 24 Sweets and Coffee. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This time Jiang Yu burst into a deep loud hearty laugh. She really couldn't stop herself. Wang Minghua's confused face is simply adorable. This cousin of hers is making her heart healthy with all of his silliness. Sensing Wang Minghua's irritated gaze, she laughed even more. Alright. Alright. I'm done. I'll stop. She said while giving her cousin another teasing smirk. I want to have an office inside a cafe. Jiang Yu said while giggling. The men opposite to her didn't know if they wanted to laugh or to cry. Did she just say that she wanted an office inside a cafe? Isn't that a little too peculiar? What's with that look? I'm serious. I want this to be in a separate building. I can't risk the security for this project. And the best way to hide something is to put it in the most obvious places. Of course, it will be completely underground. She explained. Seeing that they still had a confused look on their faces, she chuckled and added. That, and I want to be surrounded by yummy sweets and coffee. Still, the trio continued to give her a weird look. Come on. Grandpa. What's a better way than working in a place with so much food? She tried to reason. Her grandfather knows that Jiang Yu loved sweet things. He used to call her Sweet Tooth when she was a kid. Okay. I have no problem with that cafe of yours. What I would like to ask is, why do you need to make this project a secret? Grandpa Wang narrowed his eyes as he looked at his granddaughter. I just feel like the concept is completely new and we should just keep it safe from prying eyes. She answered her grandfather without even batting an eye. She already knew ahead of time that her grandfather will ask this question. Of course, she can't just tell him that she is planning to recruit an outlaw, right? Right. Wang Guiren didn't say anything as he continues to look at her granddaughter. He knows that Jiang Yu is hiding something, but he already promised himself that he will let her grow. So he will not intervene. He will completely put all his trust in Jiang Yu. Somewhere in his heart, he knows that she will never disappoint him. He nodded his head and looked at Wang Ho beside him. Wang Ho gives him a knowing smile. Both father and son had an understanding look in their eyes. They will both support Jiang Yu no matter what. Alright. Just promise us that you will keep yourself safe. All the time. Grandpa Wang looked at Jiang Yu with his gentle eyes. Jiang Yu's eyes reddened. This is the look that he longed so much. The look that he was not able to achieve in her previous life. She knows that she will treasure these people and do everything to protect them. For some reason, she felt guilty for hiding something from her grandfather. But she needed to do it. She needed to protect everyone that she loves. She gives both her grandfather and uncle a hug before walking out of her grandpa's study and into her room with Wang Minghua. She needed to talk to her cousin in private. She made sure to lock the door in her room before speaking. So. What did you find out? She asked. How did you know about that? Her cousin asked. She felt that for someone who had an above-average IQ, her cousin is a little slow. Do I really need to answer that? she said as she rolled her eyes. Wang Minghua gives himself a mocking smile. They always knew that Jiang Yu is so smart. Figuring out something like this should just be so easy. There is no physical evidence on the scene. The brakes of your car have been tampered with, but it was not that damaged. I think the killer noticed that the brakes still worked, so he or she got careless and decided to crash into your car instead. He responded. How about the CCTVs? Did they get something? No. The car was stolen. The driver wore a mask. And we still can't find the car until now. They must have gotten rid of it. Wang Minghua seriously said. How about the Zhangs? Did you investigate them? Yes. I didn't find anything weird with the Zhangs except for Lu Shi. I looked into her bank account and it seems that she had been sending money into an untraceable account abroad. How long? It goes way back. More than 15 years. I can't pinpoint the exact date when it started. But I will concentrate on getting that information. Jiang Yu need her temples. She already suspected Lu Shi, but she is still afraid that someone else might be helping her. Focus all your investigations to Lu Shi. I want to know everything about her. She commanded. This matter is too important for her. Also, I want you to give me everything about my mother's accident 3 years ago. Send it in an encrypted file. She added. Jiang Yu thought that she will handle everything about her mother's accident. She had a bad feeling about all this. After reincarnating, she did not put the word revenge into her mind. After all, she believed that what happened in her past was caused by her own foolishness. It happened because she was ignorant. However, if her mother's accident had something to do with anyone in the Jiang family, then she will make sure to eliminate everyone involved in her mother's death. Chapter 25 How to Eat a Cake. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. After 2 days of staying at home and gathering some information for her company, Jiang Yu finally decided to go to school. This time she wanted to recruit her friend Shenrong as a graphics designer. Jiang Yu saw some of Shenrong's sketches before and she is confident of her friend's skills. She also remembered Shenrong from her past life. After graduating high school, Shenrong will pursue arts and will excel in design. After she arrived at school, she immediately went to her classroom to see her friend. Hey! Jiang Yu, are you alright? I didn't see you for 4 days. I tried to call you but it won't go through. Did something happen? She heard Shenrong's voice before she was able to enter the classroom. She looked at the delicate beauty standing next to her. Shenrong might look delicate and pretty on the outside, but she is very outspoken and confident. A trait that Jiang Yu admired from her friend. Oh. My phone broke. Accompany me later. I will buy a new one. I just had an emergency last Monday but it's already fixed. She assured her Shenrong. Really? Are you sure? Absolutely. Also, I want to talk to you about something important. Do you want to go to the cafeteria? We can grab a bite while talking. Shenrong nodded and walked alongside Jiang Yu as they talk about random things on their way to the cafeteria. The two girls bought some sweets before looking for a vacant table. Then they both choose a seat at the corner to avoid the crowd. So, what do you want to talk about? Shenrong inquired. Well, I want you to work for me. As a graphic designer. Graphic design. What do you want me to design? You know that I haven't taken any design classes before, right? Shenrong wanted to make sure that Jiang Yu is aware of her inexperience. Sure, she is talented when it comes to arts, but she didn't have any professional classes before. Jiang Yu fixed her eyes at Shenrong. She knows that Shenrong had a good background. She also knows that the Shen family had a very complicated household. Shenrong is so talented at sketching, so how come their family didn't let her take any art classes to enhance her skills? Nevertheless, her decision won't change. She would still ask her friend to work for her. BDNVL.M, that's not a problem. I saw your sketches before and I was quite impressed. I want you to work for me. We will immediately start my project after the national exams. She mumbled before chewing a piece of her cake elegantly. What project? Oh. I haven't told you yet. I'm planning to start my own company. It's like a sister company of ICOM's Tech, but it's totally different. I will explain the specifics after the exams. Jiang Yu answered. Shenrong can't help but feel a little conflicted when she heard Jiang Yu. Jiang Yu is still 17 but she is already talking about starting her own company. While she is still in a limbo, floating and waiting for other people to decide for her. Isn't she a little too pitiful? But, Shenrong likes Jiang Yu and will wholeheartedly support her. Okay. I'm in. She beamed at Jiang Yu. She would love to work for a smart girl like her. Great. So am. This cake is not that good. But do you know a place that sells great cakes and confectioners? Jiang Yu suddenly asked her. Even though she just know Jiang Yu, Shenrong already noticed that this girl loves her sweets. I don't know, I'm not really a fan of sweet things. I like spicy and bitter food. She answered as she started to gobble her own cake. Hey! You don't eat a cake like that. You can't just devour it. Jiang Yu blurted while looking at her. So how am I supposed to eat a cake? She asked with a raised eyebrow. Shenrong finds Jiang Yu funny and entertaining. She is also very smart and knowledgeable about different stuff. She always manages to talk about things that piqued her interest. However, eating sweets is not one of her interests. She is not a big fan of cakes and candies. So how would she know how to properly eat a cake? Sweets are still food, so she should just treat it like every other food, right? Put it inside her mouth, chew then swallow. Right. Well, you have to take a look at it first. A cake is a piece of art. It's like a painting. You have to savor it using your eyes. Imagine how it tastes like. Then once you take a bite you have to evaluate it. Examine its texture and taste. Let it melt into your mouth. If the cake is mediocre then don't finish it. If it tastes spectacular, then enjoy it. Then finish it mindfully. Jiang Yu said as her eyes sparkled. Shenrong was rendered speechless. Seriously? Who eats a cake like that? Did this Jiang Yu come from a different planet? She was about to tease her friend when another voice interrupted her. I didn't know you are so knowledgeable at stuff like that, Miss Jiang. Both girls turned their head to look at the person speaking. Jiang Yu furrowed her brows when it was Yu Chen. Chapter 26 Yu Chen's Confidence. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 26 Yu Chen's Confidence. What are you doing here, Mr. Student President? Shenrong immediately jibed. She didn't like this Yu Chen. She thinks he is way too confident. Always acting like everyone likes him. Yu Chen didn't even spare Shenrong a glance. He walked towards Jiang Yu with a friendly smile. I want to talk to you. In private. Yu Chen tried to emphasize the word private. Every girl in the university would blush if they heard him say such words. Every girl except Shenrong and Jiang Yu. It's fine, Mr. Yu. Shenrong is a friend. Jiang Yu said. She still finds Yu Chen's presence a little uncomfortable. Yu Chen couldn't help but clenched his jaws. It seems that his charms don't work at the girl in front of him. However, he is confident that she will melt this beauty soon. So. I would like to apologize for what happened last week. If it's alright, I would like to invite you over to one of the prestigious restaurants here in the city as an apology. He said. He gives her the most sincere voice he could ever muster. Jiang Yu looked at Yu Chen. How come she didn't notice his acting skills in her past life? Was she that dumb before? She felt disappointment in her previous self again. She let out a long sigh. Mr. Yu, I'm sorry, but I don't feel any sincerity coming from you. She continues to stare at the man standing in front of her. This guy is up to something sinister. She could feel it. But she is not that concerned about him right now. What she keeps on thinking was the offer that he said a while ago. One of the most prestigious restaurants in the city. That only means one thing. Food. And when there is food, there will be sweets. This man thinks that she could easily be fooled by his coy eyes and lopsided grin. Ha! Let's see. Yu Chen, on the other hand, didn't know how to answer Jiang Yu. He was so confident that Jiang Yu will directly agree. After all, he is the most good-looking and sought-after guy in this university. Now, she is saying that she can't feel any sincerity from him. What sincerity? Of course she can't feel it. He was just acting after all. Still, Yu Chen felt insulted. Does that mean that he is not a good actor? Miss Jiang. I know I have offended you. Please be magnanimous and forgive me this once. He said while giving her a bow. This is humiliating. He tried to swallow his anger. He can't fail now. If you are really sincere, then why didn't you also invited my friend Shenrong? You know she was also offended last week, right? Yu Chen looked at her in a daze. How did she offend Shenrong? He didn't even remember running into this girl last week. Sensing his confusion, Jiang Yu added. Well, when she heard about what happened to me. She was so sad while thinking that you and your minions bullied me. She almost cried. After hearing Jiang Yu, Shenrong really wanted to cry. Cry from laughter. Jiang Yu is simply too witty. Shenrong knows that this girl just wanted to go to the restaurant and eat some cakes. She also knows that Jiang Yu wanted to drag her along to help Yu Chen spend more money. Isn't this Yu Chen a little too unfortunate? I am. Yu Chen stuttered. The offer was supposed to be a date. A date. Why would this girl drag Shenrong into the picture? Well. I know that Miss Shen is a very busy person and I don't like to disrupt her schedule. Yu Chen said as he eyed Shenrong. He hoped that Shenrong would notice his glare and will back out and support him instead. Actually, I am not that busy, Mr. Student President. I would love to come with you and Jiang Yu. Shenrong sassed at him. Why would she waste this opportunity to anger Yu Chen? Okay. That's great then. So I'll see you after class, Mr. Yu. Jiang Yu concluded before walking away with Shenrong, leaving their unfinished cake. Yu Chen can't help but grit his teeth. He felt that he had fallen into Jiang Yu's trap. He wanted to see how long can this girl put up an act around him. He snorted before walking away. This time he is more determined to win Jiang Yu over. Yu Chen can't wait to torment her once she already becomes his woman. Meanwhile, inside the Xian City's shopping mall, a guy who looked like a male model walked into the jewelry store. His entranced gain a lot of gasped from the women inside the store. Did you see that? That's Fu Jin. The heir to the Fu conglomerate. I heard from my father that he will stay at the Xian City temporarily. Really? He is not only rich, he is also very good looking. Quickly. Check my clothes. Do you think I look good enough for him? In your dreams. I heard young Master Fu is single. I sure hope it's true. I also heard he will take the national exams in the Xian City. AI. I hope to have the same testing room with him, national exams. I thought he is already in his 20s. No. He is only 19 this year. Wow. He looks so mature and reliable for his age. Exactly my type. When Lu Shi heard the young girl's conversation, she can't help but smile to herself. Fu Jin. The heir to the Fu conglomerate. If her daughter, Jiang Mian, can be with a man like him, then they won't have to act around Jiang Yu anymore. She then made her way into the jewelry store with a plan in her mind and a smile on her face. When Lu Shi saw Fu Jin, she immediately made her way towards him. "Young Master Fu." She announced her presence. "I am Lu Shi from the Jiang family. I wonder if you need any help in choosing a jewelry. I am an expert when it comes to jewelry, so thought maybe I could help you," Lu Shi said as she extended her hands while giving Fu Jin an amiable smile. Fu Jin looked at the woman in front of him. He can't help but feel irritated by this woman. This is Jiang Yu's stepmother. He never liked this in his past life. He thought that Jiang Yu liked her stepmother before, but she seems to dislike her in this lifetime. For Fu Jin, Jiang Yu is always right. So why would he waste his time entertaining a woman who is disliked by Jiang Yu? Chapter 27 Future Mother. In law, you are listening at novelfull.audio. Fu Jin looked at Lu Shi blankly. He didn't have time to deal with this scheming woman. He averted his gaze, then looked at the wide variety of jewelry in front of him. He decided to ignore this woman and won't waste any of his time dealing with her. Fu Jin decided to visit this specific jewelry shop because he wanted to buy something for Jiang Yu's birthday right after the national exams. He is looking for the best stone that he could buy that would fit Jiang Yu. He continued to examine the pieces of jewelry in the shop, without sparing Lu Shi another glance. However, Lu Shi seemed unaware of Fu Jin's indifference. She followed Fu Jin around and started talking about jewels and everything that she knows about them. Since Fu Jin is single, Lu Shi assumed that he wanted to buy something for his mother. So she started talking about diamonds and other stones. The store glittered with a lot of diamonds, attractive topaz, moonstones, ruby and jadeite. Lu Shi looked at the price and she couldn't help but gasp. These pieces of jewelry are worth millions of yuan. Who wouldn't be excited when seeing them? Young Master Fu, this necklace is pretty good for your mother. This is made up of emerald green jadeite beads secured with diamonds and a gold clasp. Every woman of age will love this, Lu Shi said as she looked at the necklace displayed in front of her. She couldn't help but want this necklace for herself. She can't help but smile when she thought about her daughter. When Jiang Mian earns Fu Jin's heart, she will ask Jiang Mian to buy jewels like this for her mother. The thought itself made Lu Shi more enthusiastic. She continued to talk and introduce each piece of jewelry to the indifferent Fu Jin. Bei Yi, on the other hand, was sweating profusely. This woman keeps on talking and talking when his young master is already an expert when it comes to jewelry. What if his young master will lose his patience? He really couldn't imagine the horrendous things that will occur if that happens. Bei Yi wanted to stop the woman but chose not to, when he met Fu Jin's indifferent eyes. He directly understood that his young master must be scheming about something. Or someone. Because no one actually stopped Lu Shi, she thought that Fu Jin is listening to her and was just embarrassed to talk. She assumed that Fu Jin didn't know much about jewelries. He must just be too embarrassed to say something. Young Master Fu, please feel free to ask if you want to know something. You can always treat me like an old friend. Or just like a mother. Lu Shi said without feeling any embarrassment. After all, she will become his mother-in-law soon. This continued for the whole time that Fu Jin was in the jewelry shop. However, he didn't utter a single word to Lu Shi. But for Lu Shi, this is insignificant. She is already thinking about her next steps to make sure that Jiang Mian will be the future matriarch of the Fu family. Lu Shi even thought of calling Jiang Mian's true father to ask for his help. After leaving the jewelry shop empty-handed, Fu Jin decided to just go home to call his contacts and find the perfect gift for his beloved. Young master, that woman inside the shop seems to have ulterior motives. She even dared to pester you the whole time. Do you want me to investigate? Bei Yi immediately asked Fu Jin the moment that they got inside the car. Call someone to watch her every move and report immediately to me. Fu Jin said as he narrowed his eyes. He already knew Lu Shi from head to toe. After all, in his previous life, he asked the whole Jiang family to be investigated after Jiang Yu's death. When he found out about Lu Shi's scheme, he was so furious. He blamed himself for not paying attention to the people around Jiang Yu. That's why in this lifetime he will make sure to protect her no matter what. This thought reminds him of something. Did you find out anything about the account abroad where Lu Shi sent her money? Yes, young master. I was planning to give you the detailed report when we get home. I found something interesting about the young Miss Mother's death. Bei Yi answered Fu Jin. Good. Give it to me once we arrive. Any news about Yu Chen? Fu Jin inquired. Mr. Yu is already planning to make a move to the young miss. He is planning to use the whole school to woo the young miss. Fu Jin clenched his jaws when he heard about Yu Chen's plan. What about her sister? Miss Jiang Mian already agreed with Yu Chen's plan. She wants to have the property deeds that the young miss inherited from her mother. We haven't heard about the specifics of the plan yet. But I believe they will do it before the national exams. Bei Yi explained. N. Make sure to protect Jiang Yu from the shadows. I also want you to assign more people to her sister and Yu Chen. Fu Jin needed his temple. He needs to get this pesky flies away from Jiang Yu soon. Jiang Yu will turn 18 5 days after the national exams and he wanted it to be perfect. He doesn't want her to deal with insignificant people or any unforeseen complications. While Fu Jin was still trying to analyze the possible problems that might harm Jiang Yu, Lu Shi is already doing the second part of her plans. She talked to Jiang Chanming about her plans and his husband directly agreed. Who doesn't want the Fu family as a backer? No one. Jiang Chanming even offered to help her. They decided to do it with utmost secrecy. After all, they couldn't just scheme against the Fu family. Lu Shi knows that someone must have seen her with Fu Jin. What she needed to do is just add fuel to the flames. And just like what she expected. A rumor about the Jiang family and Fu family spread like wildfire in Xian City's noble families. It wasn't even the end of the day yet and people are already assuming about Lu Shi's daughter and young Master Fu's relationship. Presently, no one insignificant can just accompany the young master of the Fu family. Moreover, no one insignificant will go jewelry shopping with Fu Jin. Rumors started spreading about the relationship between the two families. Everyone was making their own conclusions. After all, young Master Fu would only allow close people go jewelry shopping with him. Close people like a future mother.in.law. Right. Chapter 28 A good show is coming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On that same day, Lu Shi called Jiang Mian to inform her about what happened. Her mother told her to do well in the national exams to attract Fu Jin's attention. Then they can invite Fu Jin in Jiang Mian's 18th birthday that will be held 2 months after the exams. At first, Jiang Mian is conflicted about her mother's plan. After all, she already had Yu Chen. She already accepted his love confession. However, she was easily swayed by her mother's words. Lu Shi was right. No one can compare to the Fu family. If they could get into the Fu family, then they can spend the rest their lives with no worries. After making up her mind, Jiang Mian willingly agreed to her mom's plans. She thought she could also convince Yu Chen to agree with her plans as well. They could still cooperate and will work together for their future. Yu Chen will get Jiang Yu's inheritance and she could get into the Fu family. Although they will be married to other people, they could still see each other and maybe plan something to get away from the marriage. Of course, that will only happen after getting what they want. Jiang Mian committed herself into her plan. Then decided to call Yu Chen so they can talk about it. She knows that Yu Chen will have dinner with Jiang Yu today, but this is too important. She simply couldn't wait for another day. Jiang Mian and Yu Chen decided to meet at the back of an old building just inside the school. Not many students have the courage to visit this place because of the rumored ghosts and other supernatural existence. This made the area very popular for lovers and secret meetings. When Jiang Mian arrived, Yu Chen is already there. Jiang Mian stood just a couple of feet away from her lover. Sensing her presence, Yu Chen turned his eyes into her. Jiang Mian and Yu Chen seemed to have a silent conversation as they stared into each other's eyes. Then Jiang Mian's tears started pouring down her cheeks as Yu Chen wrapped his arms around her. Sorry, Xiao Mian. I've wronged you. Yu Chen thought that Jiang Mian is crying because she is jealous. And they have been avoiding each other for almost a week now. That must have affected her. Yu Chen didn't think that his actions will affect the woman that he likes this much. He continued to pat Jiang Mian's back, trying to comfort her. Then Jiang Mian suddenly broke off the hug. Her ears reddened from embarrassment. This is not the first time that she and Yu Chen hugged each other, but she never failed to act a little embarrassed. After all, men likes this type of behavior. Brother Chen, you misunderstood me. I am crying because my mother called me today. She said something that might affect our future. And I am afraid that you will not agree and leave me. Then Jiang Mian started explaining everything about Lu Shi and her plans. She is confident that her brother Chen will understand her. After hearing everything, Yu Chen stayed silent for a while. This is not just any other plan. This plan involves their future. He could either support her or leave her. He looked at his lover and examined her. Jiang Mian is a delicate beauty. The kind of beauty that will make any man want to protect her. Although she is not as beautiful as her sister, Yu Chen still found Jiang Mian more attractive. Jiang Yu's beauty screams arrogance and confidence. She had a special kind of aura. The kind of aura that will make any man submit to her. It's the kind of aura that he hated. Who would want a girl who seems to overpower his own arrogance? For a man, isn't that embarrassing? Yu Chen understood Jiang Mian's reasoning. The Jiang family is a well-known family in Xian City. But that's just it. Their influence is only in Xian City. The situation of both the Jiang and Yu family is somewhat similar. So, it is not wrong for them to dream of looking for a more powerful backer. Just like what Jiang Mian said, they can still be together after they obtain what they want. They can even help each other. Her plans does not seem to sound bad at all. Alright. I agree. He looked at Jiang Mian as he held her tightly in his arms. You really mean that? Jiang Mian's lips curved into a smile. Her eyes radiate with happiness. This could be the start of their dreams. Yes, I do. Yu Chen whispered before capturing her lips into a passionate kiss. The couple was so busy burning their unyielding passion for each other that they didn't notice the shadow slowly walking away from the sight. Of course, the shadow belongs to Jiang Yu. Jiang Yu was at the cafeteria buying some candies when she saw Jiang Mian acting weird. Her curiosity got her and decided to follow Jiang Mian. She didn't expect to witness such a passionate scene. What she didn't expect the most was overhearing the intricate web of schemes that they are planning. Jiang Yu's eyes beamed with happiness. Those people thought that she will just play dead and watch them succeed. She will never let that happen. However, this made her think about her past life. She didn't think that even Yu Chen likes to scheme. Is it possible that her marriage with Yu Chen was also a scheme designed by both Yu Chen and Jiang Mian? However, she will not concern herself with the past. They belonged in the past for a reason. She should focus on her future. Jiang Yu's smile never left her face the whole way to the car waiting for her. The class already ended and she agreed to meet Yu Chen for dinner. Hey, where have you been? Shenrong asked Jiang Yu as she walked towards her. Shenrong had been waiting for Jiang Yu at the gates of the university. I went to buy some candies. She answered. You seem to be in a good mood. Shenrong blurted her observations. Jiang Yu gave Shenrong a very big smile. Her eyes are forming into two beautiful crescents. Say. How much do you think is the most expensive food in the restaurant that Yu Chen was talking about? She inquired Shenrong. I don't know, but most prestigious restaurants here require a VIP membership. And restaurants like that are expensive. I would say. Close to $1 million. If it's a Michelin-starred restaurant then maybe. Around $2 million. Shenrong explained. Then I hope Mr. Yu has 10 million in his card. Jiang Yu said as she stood beside the car waiting for Yu Chen. They agreed to meet at the university gates. She knows Yu Chen will be late. Spending some sweet moments with the one that you love requires a lot of time. Jiang Yu is an understanding person. She should be patient and kind, right? Yu Chen arrived after 20 minutes. His clothes were looking a little crumpled, but all in all, he looked decent. Let's go to my car. I will drive you to the restaurant. He said as he gestured both Jiang Yu and Shenrong to his car. I'm sorry Mr. Yu, but I will have to decline. I don't like riding inside another man's car. Just give us the address to the restaurant and we can meet there. Jiang Yu responded. Yu Chen has no choice but to give the address to Jiang Yu. After all, he was aware of her accident. He thought that her grandfather must have done some security measures make Jiang Yu safe. After giving the address to Wang Bolan, Jiang Yu happily boarded the car with Shenrong. On the other side of the city, Fu Jin was reading the reports that Bei Yi provided. He was so engrossed in reading the details. His brows would furrow and his eyes narrowing from time to time. Young master. We have a problem. Bei Yi was stuttering when he arrived at the Fu Jin's study. He noticed Fu Jin's annoyed face from the disturbance and he tried to calm himself before speaking. The young Mississippi, the young miss will have dinner with Yu Chen today. I just received a call from one of our people from the school. They are already on their way to the restaurant. Bei Yi said without even stopping to take a breath. Of course, he wouldn't even breath. They are talking about their future mistress. This matter is of the highest priority. Bei Yi didn't even finish taking his breath when he heard a swish and his young master disappeared from his table. He turned around and was shocked to see his young master standing at the door. He didn't know that Fu Jin could be so nimble. Still, he understood. After all, they are talking about the young miss. Hurry. What are you waiting for? Fu Jin asked. His anger can be felt vibrating inside the room. Ah. Young master. Where are we going? Bei Yi asked. Still in a daze. Is Fu Jin planning to go to the young miss? We're going to see your future mistress. Let's see if Yu Chen can stop me in this lifetime. Fu Jin said while walking away from Bei Yi. Bei Yi didn't understand the meaning behind Fu Jin's words, but he didn't have the time to think about it. He jogged as he followed Fu Jin outside the mansion and into the car. It seems that there will be a good show coming. Chapter 29 Xiao Yu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yu Chen was sitting inside the VIP room with a dark face. He wanted to impress Jiang Yu with the elegant cuisine from this place. This is a very elegant restaurant with exquisite food. He initially thought that Jiang Yu will exercise some propriety. Who would have thought that Jiang Yu will choose the most expensive dish from the menu? He can't stop his nose from flaring in annoyance. How can this girl be so hateful? Yu Chen just sat there without saying anything as he continued to listen to both Jiang Yu and Shenrong's orders. To say that this is an extravagant feast is an understatement. Jiang Yu and Shenrong ordered food as their life depended on it. Jiang Yu. Do you even eat caterpillar fungus? Shenrong asked as she continues looking at the menu. Both girls ignored Yu Chen and didn't even act as if Yu Chen was there. Of course not. But I haven't seen one yet. Although my mother loved eating different cuisine, she doesn't eat delicacies like that. Plus it's so rare, so I haven't really seen one. I add that I hope Mr. Yu won't mind. After all, this is for an apology. Jiang Yu said. She is still in a good mood. She can't wait to let Yu Chen pay everything. Yu Chen wanted to cough up blood after hearing Jiang Yu's statement. He didn't realize Jiang Yu can be so shameless. Even daring to order food that she will not eat. Is this girl planning to kill him with too much anger? I don't mind Sister Jiang. Yu Chen said while giving them a fake smile. He decided to change the way he addressed Jiang Yu to show a little affection towards her. Jiang Yu just nodded and continued to look at the menu. Here include this braised pork with truffles and the abalone as well as the sea cucumber. What else? Shenrong, what else do you want? The attendant took almost 20 minutes to write down all the orders. While waiting for the food, Jiang Yu was talking to Shenrong enthusiastically. Yu Chen, on the other hand, can't feel any joy at the moment. The veins in his forehead are already visible from swallowing down all of his anger. Jiang Yu is clearly ignoring him on purpose. Ahem. So, Sister Jiang, I notice that you like sweets. I hope that you will enjoy the confections in this place. The pastry chef here is famous all over the world. I wonder what Sister Jiang's favorite confection is. Maybe we could ask the chef to specifically made it for you. Even though I heard that this chef is really hard to talk to, we can still give it a try. Yu Chen said. He is clearly trying to initiate a conversation with Jiang Yu. Yu Chen knows that the chef won't talk to them, but it won't hurt to give it a try. He is trying to impress Jiang Yu. Maybe he could even bribe someone else to make the dessert for her. Then pretend that it came from the world-renowned chef in this restaurant. Mr. Yu is very considerate. My favorite is. Jiang Yu halted her speech when they noticed the door opened. She turned to look at the door as she was expecting to see some of their orders. She was excited to eat all right. However, her smile falters when she saw a very unexpected guest. Xiao Yu. I didn't expect to see you here. The person who walks into the VIP room is obviously Fu Jin. He plastered a gentle smile into his face while walking towards Jiang Yu. Upon seeing the man, Jiang Yu's lips couldn't help but twitch. How is this man here? He even called her such an intimate nickname. Now people would think that they are familiar with each other. Xiao Yu, stop looking at me like that. I called Grandpa Wang to ask about your location and he said you are here, so I immediately hurried over so I can see you. Fu Jin gushed while taking a seat beside Jiang Yu. Jiang Yu faked a smile, then gave him a glare. Grandpa Wang. Why is he acting so familiar with her grandfather? What is this man even doing? Is he planning to join them? Jiang Yu decided that she needs to talk to his grandfather about giving her location to strangers later. Who are you? Yu Chen suddenly blurted with his brows furrowed. A stranger just came inside their room acting friendly to Jiang Yu. Of course, he will not like this situation. Especially that the stranger is more good-looking than him. Fu Jin didn't even start talking to him yet, but Yu Chen already considered him as a rival. Phew. Where are my manners? Call me Jin. I am a friend of Xiao Yu's grandfather and uncle. Fu Jin said without tearing his intense gaze from Jiang Yu. Ah. We didn't order something for you, so I don't think you can stay with us while we eat. Yu Chen said. He really hated the presence of this guy. No worries. I already ordered something for myself. I even included Xiao Yu's favorite dessert. He answered. Of course, it was Bei Yi who ordered for him. Bei Yi also talked to the chef to make the dessert for their future mistress. The chef is acquainted with the Fu family, so he immediately agreed and even made some other stuff that Jiang Yu loves. Do you even know the chef here? He is very famous. He doesn't like talking to people. especially people of unknown origin. Yu Chen sneered as he looked at Fu Jin from head to toe. Although, this man is very good looking, he doesn't seem to come from money. Fu Jin is obviously under-dressed. Yu Chen even wondered why this guy was able to enter the restaurant when it's obvious that he can't afford a VIP membership. What Yu Chen didn't know was that Fu Jin forgot to change his clothing because he hurried to join them. Not that it mattered to Fu Jin. For Fu Jin, physical appearance is just superficial. Fu Jin didn't answer Yu Chen's inquiry. He just continued to stare at Jiang Yu. This made the environment more awkward. Oh. Good thing the order is here. I am so hungry. Shen Rong exulted. This is the best that she could do to ease this situation. The waiter arrived with some of the orders and they started eating silently. Of course, this includes Fu Jin occasionally putting some dishes to Jiang Yu's bowl. I know you like this. Here, have some. Fu Jin dotingly said as he put another abalone in Jiang Yu's bowl. Jiang Yu accepted the abalone without saying anything. She honestly doesn't know what to say. Jiang Yu found this situation a little unexplainable and weird. Definitely weird. But the thought of Yu Chen paying all these food is making Jiang Yu happy. Even if Fu Jin's presence was a little unexpected, the thought of making Yu Chen pay more is making Jiang Yu satisfied. She will definitely settle their score after this meal. But for now, Jiang Yu will heartily enjoy this food. Yu Chen, on the other hand, was feeling uncomfortable. He swallowed his food in anger while staring daggers at Fu Jin. Clearly, Yu Chen didn't recognize Fu Jin's real identity. After all, he is not from one of the prestigious family. And Fu Jin grew up abroad. Not many people recognized him. When the desserts were served, Fu Jin still acted like a doting husband. He shamelessly fed Jiang Yu some of the strawberries that were dusted in edible gold. Jiang Yu really wanted to cry from too much awkwardness. What is this situation? Why is this guy so shameless? He called him intimate nicknames, dared to act so closely with her grandfather, now he even started feeding her. And this is just the third time that they saw each other. Jiang Yu can't help but shiver as she imagined what this guy might do if they see each other again after this. Still, Jiang Yu accepted the food without saying anything. She likes strawberries dipped in gold. It was one of her favorites. For her, eating her favorite is one happy occasion. That. And she seems to like the feeling of being fed by a handsome man. Jiang Yu couldn't help but giggle inwardly. She decided to deal with this awkward situation later. When Yu Chen saw Fu Jin fed Jiang Yu, he felt insulted and furious. He is clearly the one who invited Jiang Yu, but both Fu Jin and Jiang Yu are obviously treating him as a bystander. Chapter 30 Uncouth Man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey! I don't think it is proper for you to feed Sister Jiang. After all, Sister Jiang is still young and unmarried. Yu Chen reprimanded Fu Jin. This Fu Jin is really shameless. He didn't just enter the room without his permission. He even stole Jiang Yu's attention away from him. Fu Jin looked at Yu Chen for the first time. His eyes full of mirth. Who did you say your name was? Sensing the ridicule in Fu Jin's voice, Yu Chen can't hold back his dissatisfaction anymore. He suddenly gets up and slaps the table loudly. I am the one who invited Jiang Yu for dinner and you shamelessly barge in without permission. Now you even have the courage to ask me who am I? Why are you even here? You don't look like someone who can afford this place. Yu Chen's anger exploded. He will surely make a complaint to the head of this restaurant later on. How did the security let this uncouth man enter? Yu Chen thought that Jiang Yu is not saying anything because she is still mad at him. Jiang Yu must be using this man's presence to slight him. Where is the attendant here? Yu Chen continued to shout. This time he is shouting at the door. He is trying to get the attention of the attendant. Surely the attendant can make this person go away. Yu Chen, there must be a misunderstanding. Jiang Yu knows this person. He even said he is acquainted with Jiang Yu's grandpa. Shen Rong says as she tried to calm Yu Chen. This Yu Chen is really stupid and unrefined. Even daring to create a scene here. It is pretty obvious that Jiang Yu knows the handsome man beside her. He might even be related to Jiang Yu. After all, most good-looking people are related by blood, right? What acquainted? Do you really believe that he is acquainted with the Wang household? Look at him, he is shameless and does not have any good manners. Clearly an attitude of someone from the lower class. Yu Chen sneered. This man is just a little more good-looking than him, aside from that, he can't compare to him at all. Yu Chen was so full of himself that he failed to see the ridicule in Jiang Yu's eyes. Xiao Yu, I didn't know you are acquainted with someone like this. Come, I will bring you home. You should not associate yourself with this person. Grandpa Wang does not like this type of people, Fu Jin mocked Yu Chen. He just asked him one question. One question and he already exploded in anger. Just how weak is this man? Jiang Yu nodded and signaled Shen Rong. Both of them gets up with Fu Jin. Jiang Yu already lost her appetite. Shen Rong is also not in the mood to eat anymore. Jiang Yu. Don't listen to this man. Let this man leave. Can't you see? He is shameless and unrefined. I know you are still mad at me. I also know that you are just using this man to get your revenge. I forgive you. Just let this man leave so we can continue our dinner. Yu Chen hurriedly coaxed Jiang Yu. If Jiang Yu is just using this man, then she will clearly abandon him if Yu Chen will offer a sincere apology. Look, I know I've wronged you. And I really apologize for that. We've met at the wrong time and I was not feeling great that day. Look, we still have a lot of food. We have a lot of desserts and such. I know you love this. Just let this man leave and we will finish all this all right. Yu Chen almost begged Jiang Yu. He knows that this is embarrassing, but this will all be for his and Jiang Mian's future. Before Jiang Yu could utter a word, Fu Jin already grabbed her hands and pulled her towards the door. Don't worry about the dishes, I already paid for everything. Fu Jin said before walking out the door, dragging while Jiang Yu with Shen Rong in tow. Yu Chen paled after he heard that Fu Jin already paid everything. He felt that the man slapped his face black and blue. He actually thought that the man is not from a wealthy family. He even berated the man for wearing such simple clothes. Yet the man said he already paid for everything. He immediately called the attendant and confirmed what Fu Jin said. The attendant said everything had been taken care of. When he asked more information about the guy, the attendant just told him that he is one of their patrons. And that he is not allowed to divulge any private information about him. This made Yu Chen more frustrated. He didn't even know the name of the person that he dared to offend. If that Jin is really acquainted with Jiang Yu's grandfather, then Yu Chen can't help but let out a string of curses when the attendant left. That guy named Jin is really his nemesis. He even lost his control and showed his true colors because of him. Now, he had to think another method to get Jiang Yu's attention. He was in deep thought for a while. If he can't get Jiang Yu's attention using this technique, then he will use his greatest advantage against her. And that is the university. Seems like his initial plan will come handy after all.